Peace, we finna hop off right into it. Have you heard of the Hermetic laws? In Hermetic, they call them the Hermetic principles. And a lot of people have adopted this Hermetic principle, which I quote from the Kabbalion, because that is where the Hermetic principles are found. And I remember my first time reading the Kabbalion. Now I want you to understand that the Kabbalion is a branch of Islam. Now, I'm gonna have to rewrite the Kabbalion, because the Kabbalion is a rewrite. And so they messing up the world by this split viewpoint of creating 7 different subjects for one object. So what I'm gonna do is show you the truth, and then we're gonna put the truth into practice so you can see it. So this is based on understanding. So we want to understand that Hermeticism is tied to Judaism. So with these two being tied together, it's not a considerable authentic text. These are texts to make you stupid. They'll get you such a way, but they won't get you all the way. But the ultimate goal of these texts is to lure you away from Islam. And if you've seen the upload, Islam is very important because wisdom means Islam. So we're going to pull up an understanding and use the words as our substance to begin to understand Islam and how they stole the first principle, which is the only principle one needs to know. You don't need to know 7. All you need to know is 1. And we're going to dive in to the real deal. Hermetic principle 1. Hermetic principle is Islamic principle. That's the first thing we need to know, Islamic principle. And Islamic principle 1 is not mentalism. This is where they created their own mentalism, and this is a psychosis because it has no reference to everlasting life and how to attain it. So this would not give you salvation, but it would give you a direction. So we're going to go all the way into salvation. So we're going to tap into the Islamic principle 1. It's not mentalism. We call it Islamism. Islamism. That's the first principle. Okay, in Islamism, The all is mind. This is how the Kabbalion reads. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Okay, that's true to an extent because it comes out of Islam. But you have to know the true understanding of this, because without self-gnosis, you won't understand what this is coming from. Self-gnosis means self-knowledge, and self-knowledge means Islam. So if you don't have Islam, you won't understand these texts. So understand that the Gnostics was a form of Islam. Now, your early Gnostics were Muslims. But let's continue. Let's bring the Islamic principle in of Islamism. The first one, Allah is mine. See how I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad you seen this and heard this. See, this is why text written down is so deadly if not accurate. Because these words, if they're not accurate, you will be saying and repeating inaccurate tones and discordant harmony. And these things will not make sense. And so I just caught myself reading the words on the text. But that's the spell. So you have to learn how to not read the words on the text while reading the words on the text. So you got to read the words and then not read the words. And so I'm finna show you with the Islamic principle 1 of Islamism. Allah is self. And you like, what is Allah? Allah was a black way of saying the divine. The black people way of saying the divine. So Allah is self. The universe is Islam. Did we catch that? Allah is self, and the universe is Islam. This is the principle of Islamism, which is the first building block of the process of manifestation. To the Muslim, the principle of Islamism explains all of life, matter, and energy. Through the understanding of this principle, the Muslim is able to diagnose the nature of energy, power, and matter as being subordinate to the power of the self. All these are subordinate to the self. Life, energy, matter, subordinate to self, including power and abilities. The Muslim uses this knowledge to connect with his or her self. Through that connection, bring balance and harmony, balance and will into his or her own life. Thus, he or she becomes fully capable of manifesting anything within the will of the divine, the will of Allah. Now, to understand the principle of Islamism is to come closer to the mind. It got me. Closer to the self of the divine, the self of Allah, becoming one with the universe, Islam, and therefore discovering your purpose for existence in the mind of Allah. The principle of Islamism shows one, the effects the self has on all planes of existence. Effects that the self has, meaning that self is not the secondary cause. Self is the primary cause that everyone been looking for. What is the cause of cause? It's called self. And only Islamism teaches self-knowledge. Islam means self-knowledge, and wisdom means Islam. Throughout history, religion has echoed this belief and spoken on the importance of the power of thought. And see, and then they got all the other branches. In Sanskrit, see, a branch, understanding of the wisdom of Allah. This innermost part of your being that connects with the self of Allah, the all. They get the word the all that comes from the ancient Muslim word illallah. So when we say Allah, this is what it's referring to. See, in Sanskrit, Allah is called Atman. Atman, which means spirit or soul. Atman in Hinduism is the true essence of a person that exists beyond time, eternal, imperishable, and forever living in the mind of Allah. You see, so all these things transpire concurrent through the religious thread. So I just wanted us to get a quick peek into the true law of the universe is Islam, and its first principle is Islamism. Islam, 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 Islam.